I don't know what to think. I know that this is where this comes from. Last Sunday, listening to a guy online, never been to his church, just happens to be a little ways away from us. We thought, well, let's just listen online today. So we did. And in a span of about 20-25 minutes, I think on 8 different occasions, he said, this church is not all about me. This church is not all about the preaching. This church is not all about, and he used his name, I think it was Todd or something. Todd something. This church is about you. This church is about Jesus. This church is about the community. This church is not. And I listened. It was a sweet message. But in my head, I was thinking, who are you trying to convince? Like, if you have to stand up in your church and tell everybody, this church is not about me. Like, why do you have to say that? Why wouldn't they already know? And if you're trying to convince people that aren't there, like me online, that, hey, this church is different, it's not a hierarchy, it's a community effort, it's cooperative in its leadership, and this guy just happens to be preaching on Sunday, then preach a sermon that makes me want to come there, not one that makes me think, what's his problem? And I laugh because honestly, it's he probably doesn't have a problem. He's probably a wonderful man, and I'm not. I know I want to be careful. I don't want to judge him for 25 minutes of actual content. I don't know him, but it did make me start thinking about the number of times that people try to convince you of things that aren't true by telling you that they are true. And humility is one of those things. If you're not constantly, but if you have to keep telling people, no, I'm humble. I'm very humble. I don't look for the spotlight. I'm very humble. Are you? Or are you trying to give yourself the spotlight on something that sure makes it seem like you're not? Because, who would want the spotlight if they keep telling you that they're humble? Why do you keep telling us that? To go to another thing that we've talked about here before, vision. If you constantly have to tell people that you have vision, that you have a vision, that you have a vision, and the reason why you have to keep telling people you have a vision is because you keep getting feedback that says, what's the vision? Where are we going? What's going on? What's the vision? And then something ain't working. I'll tell you who you don't have to hear from regarding a vision is somebody with it. And somebody with a vision very seldom has to repeat it because everybody around them has become saturated by it. They know where you're going. They know where the business is going. They know what you're trying to accomplish, or they know where the church is trying to accomplish, or what their goal is. Whether or not it's good is irrelevant in this conversation. It's just people with vision don't usually have to get up very often. Now, I know sometimes you do. And sometimes you do have to describe yourself in all of your strengths. Like when you're applying for a job, yes, I'm an awesome person, and these are my strengths, and this is what I'm really good at. So sometimes you do have to. I'm not taking that away from this illustration, but generally speaking, if you're around a humble person, you usually pick up on it. Maybe not right away, but like a month later, you'd be like, you know what? That person has a ton of qualities that they're not telling us about, because they're just humble about it. They just do it, or they just speak it. What they say is actually really wise. But they don't walk around saying, "Hey, everyone needs to listen to me. I'm really wise." Proverbs talks about these kind of things all the time. How a fool is often the one that's first to talk, right? And a wise man, words are few, and we have to be mindful of this. I was trying to think of another one. Oh, I remember this one too. People that start out a sentence with, I don't want to be offensive, but like literally they're about to do something or say something offensive. I don't mean to offend anyone. No. Like, just stop the sentence right there. Just stop. Just don't talk. Don't talk. But I've heard that from business luncheons, where the guy's up there. I don't want to be offensive, but I have this really funny joke, or I just want to make a point about. Actually, I think a coach in the NFL might have lost a job finally over doing something like that. Like he was probably on the edge anyways, but then he said something like that. I think from, he's at a press conference and he's like, "Yeah, I'll tell you about that play." Not to be offensive, not to say anything offensive, but the name of the play was really offensive, and he said it, and he's like, "Yeesh." He came back. I'm sure he's made millions. I don't feel bad for him. Just an illustration. Parents that will tell you, well, I'm a really good. No, I'm amazing at being a father. I don't think you need to say that. And if you do need to say it, is it really true? If you need to say it, is it true? Sometimes you have to say it, but if you need to say it, is it true? Yeah. Parenting. I knew a kid that had 4 accidents at the time of this quote. And we were somewhere and he said, "I'm the best driver in our family." And like everybody's like, "Wait, what?" How do you get that title? Like, let's just spend a moment. Yeah, if you have to tell everybody what a great driver you are, let them just go for a ride with you and let them get out and say, "Wow, you're really good. You're a really good driver." All right, enough thoughts on that. I hope you had some fun with it, and I did. I always have fun with my thoughts. Hope you guys are having a fabulous day.